and with your family. Stay safe, and because the virus is spreading very fast. So, okay, so let's begin with our today's training. So today's training is on Texecom product portfolio. We will cover all the Texecom products, whether it's a control panels, whether it's a sensors, or whether it's a communication modules. Let us start with it. Okay, so before we start with today's agenda, so just want to give you a brief idea that what we have already done in the previous last 2 to 3 months. So as you all know that we are doing this training every weekly, and these things. So number one is we have done the training on ricochet expansion modules and captures. So this ricochet expansion module is basically an IXP-W module, which is basically used for in case if we have any third-party control panels, and if we want to activate some of the Texecom wireless sensors in that third-party panels, then we need to use this expansion module. So that part we have covered. And the capture product, the capture is basically the PIR range, the new PIR range which we are coming up with the upcoming week. It will be available in India maybe within 10 days or so. Already we have started shipping all these products, the new product, the capture PIRs. Then we have covered about the Texecom wired and the wireless solution, starting from the site visit, BOQ designing, then installation and commissioning, handover procedure. So covered in the training part, which was having in two different languages, in Hindi as well as in English, as per the demand from you guys, right? And after that, we have done one residential solution is basically this basically covered what exactly we need to do whenever we are giving the IDS system for a residential market, right? So it has all the steps like BOQ designing, installation, commissioning, and handover procedure, along with the programming part. So all these things we have already covered in the previous trainings. So in today's agenda, we will going to cover the IDS architecture, which we are reiterating again because this part we already had covered in each and every training session. But again, we will cover the IDS architecture, and then we will understand about the various range of products in Texecom, what all products we have and their uses as per their application area. And then what are the special products? So special products are basically used for the special applications. So that also we will see. Then after that, in the last, we have a question answer sessions. Okay. Okay. So in the IDS architecture, intrusion detection system architecture, as you all know that the architecture includes all these things. So number one is sensors. Sensors are basically your eyes and the ears of the system. So these sensors are, you can say, whenever we are giving the IDS system, in the IDS system, the sensors are the one which basically alert to the control system. So these are the sensors which we install at all the entry exit points. Why so? Because all the entry exit points are the way for the intruder to come inside, right? So these sensors are basically protecting these areas, all the entry exit areas. So whenever we get any alert from these sensors, these alerts are sent directly to the control panel. So these control panel, or you can say a brain of a system, which is the most important part of intrusion detection system, is basically what it will do once it receives the signal from any of the sensors, then it do lot of processing. And after the processing, it what basically do, we can say it generally do three type of work in a simple language. Number one is it start communicating. So communication happens in different ways. Number one, it activates the local sounder, right, which comes under the communication part, so that the local person get alerted. Then number two, it starts sending out the alerts or the notification, or start sending the SMS alerts to the owner of the residence or to the owner of that particular premises, so that if the owner is not present at the site, at the premises, he will also get to know that something is happening at his site, right? And number three is it will activate the software also. The CMS software means if we have any third party command station which is doing a monitoring of our system, of our premises through this IDS system, so that CMS software also start receiving the alerts. So this complete system is called as a architecture of intrusion detection system. So hopefully you're able to understand. If you want to relate this architecture for better understanding or for easy understanding, you can relate it with the computer system architecture. In the computer system also we have some input devices which we can term it as a sensor. Then we have a CPU unit in the computer system which we termed it as a control system in our IDS system. Then we have a output unit in computer system, which is like your monitor, your speakers. So here we have a communicator as a sounders or a keypad or any GSM module or IP module, right? But in IDS system, we have one additional feature which is called the CMS, Central Monitoring System. Okay, so that's how you can make the understanding of the architecture. Now come to the controls. So one by one we will understand about the complete architecture. So number one is called the controls. Under the controls we have control panels. So in Texecom intrusion detection system, there are different type of control panels which are used as per the application wise. For example, for the residential area, there are different panels. For the industrial purpose use or for the factory areas, for the warehouses, for the bigger sites, we have a different panels. Then we have a expanders. So expanders is basically used for expanding the number of zones or number of sensors. As you all are aware, if you have if you have attended the previous trainings where we have covered the wired system and the wireless system, there we need to increase the number of zones. Why so? Because in the control panel we have limited number of zones, right? So in order to expand or increase the number of zones, we need the zone expander. So that is also comes under the controls, which gives you the additional number of zones. Then we have a keypad. So this keypad is basically a display unit or a control unit. This keypad basically helps the end customer to understand that what all things are going on the intrusion detection system. For example, if there is a alarm generated at the control panel, then the end customer can read out everything from the display unit. Secondly, if customer wants to arm or disarm the system using their user code, so he has to use the display unit to arm and disarm the control panel, right? So for every site, for every panel, we must have one keypad. It is mandatory. Then come to the smart key. So nowadays, people are not feel very comfortable to use the keypad, to go to the keypad and enter their 4-digit code and then try to arm or disarm the system. they are now more tech savvy, right? So they want to arm the system instantly. So we have one more option of arming or disarming the system using the smart key. This is very similar like your key fob or the remote control which we use for locking and unlocking your cars, right? So when you lock or unlock with the remote, uh, in the similar way, from the smart key you can arm and disarm your system. Okay, so this is also one of the device we have. Now let us understand little more detail about the control panel. So as I told you that for different applications we have a different type of control panel. So in Texecom control panels, number one is all the panels are Premier Elite series, and we have total 5 different panels. As you can see, the first 2 panels are in a similar body, which is called a polycarbonate. First 2 panels, and these first 2 panels are basically used for the smaller sites, like for the 2000 square feet area residence, jewelry showrooms, small banks, ATMs. For these type of areas you can use these 2 control panels. And for the bigger sites like your warehouses, factories, or you can say 20,000 square feet area or more than that, 20,000 square feet area or above, then we use the metal body panels. These 3 panels. Out of these 3 panels, we have to use any one of them whenever the area is big. Okay. And this is a little description given for each panel. I will not go in detail on each of these because we have already covered all of these. But the only difference you just need to keep in mind that for the bigger areas, you have to go with the metal body panels. And for the smaller areas, you have to go with the polycarbonate panels. Okay. Okay, so let us see that which panel we have already discontinued. So these 2 panels we have already discontinued, Premier 816 and Premier 832. So these 2 panels were called Premier, not Premier Elite. Please remember this. Okay, so Premier 816 we have already stopped manufacturing. Premier 832 basically we have stopped it, but these are only available for the replacements of the old banks, because we have old banks where we have given the Premier 832 panel. For their replacements only we are supplying these units till date. Okay, otherwise for the fresh purchase these panels are not available. Please remember this, and these are the discontinued panel. And now if anyone wants to replace these panels with the Premier Elite panel, so which one you can go with? The entry level panel, which is called Premier Elite 24. Okay, so you can replace these either of these 2 panels with the Premier Elite 24. So Premier Elite 24 is the new version of panel which is available in the market right now. Okay, so
you
now
can use the laser pointer if you want to point something. Right click and then you can
okay,
choose the laser pointer.
just a minute.
Go to the slideshow and then right click. Go to the slideshow mode. Yeah, up slide. Expand. Yeah, explain the expanders bit first.
Yeah. Okay, so guys, we have just understood about the control panels and which panels are now discontinued and which one you can replace it in the Premier Elite segment. Now we will see about the expanders unit. So as you are aware that the expanders are basically used to increase the capacity of zones, because every panel has onboard zones, which are very limited, like only 8 zones you will get from the control panel. But if you want to increase the number of zones, then you have to use the zone expander. So zone expander are of different categories. Depending upon the requirement, we suggest the expanders. So number one is 8xp. You can see it's in a polycarbonate body. So 8xp is basically, as the name suggests, 8 means it will again give you another 8 zones if you go with the 8xp expander. And then the second one you can see 8xp-w, and the third one says 32xp-w. So dash W means it gives you the wireless zones, and 8xp means it gives you the wired zones. So whenever you want to increase number of wired zones, you go with 8xp. And in case if you want to increase the wireless zones, then you go with dash W expander. It depends upon the total number of sensors, how many sensors you are putting in at the site. So as per the quantity of the sensors and as per the area, we recommend the expanders. But dash W, always remember it is for the wireless sensors. Okay. And then come to the IXP-W. So this is the product, the image you can see, which basically used, as I told you, that in case if we have any XYZ third party control panel at the site and customer says that I don't want to replace the complete panel, keep it as it is, but in addition to that, what I want, give me 2 or 3 panic buttons just in case of any emergency. I want to trigger the panic button, but that too as a wireless. Okay, this is his requirement. I'm just giving you an example where you can use this IXP-W. So with the third party control panel, you can use this IXP-W module. So what it will do, this IXP-W module will take one wired zone in the third party control panel. One wired zone in a third party control panel. Okay. And then with this IXP-W module, we will enroll our wireless sensor into this, and our wireless sensor will start communicating. Okay, so in simple terminology, if anyone wants to use Texecom wireless sensors, not everyone, not all the wireless sensors, but up to some few limit. For example, wireless panic buttons, wireless micromagnetic contacts, wireless shock sensors. If customer wants to use Texecom wireless sensors along with their third party control panels, then in that scenario, we can do that using the IXP-W. Okay. Then come to the PSU 200XP. So this, what is this PSU 200XP? Now you can see the size of this PSU 200XP module. It is in a metal body, and if you see, it is very much similar to the control panel. The 3 control panels here you can see Elite 88, 168, 640. The size of the PSU expander is exactly same, just like your metal body panels. And this, now what is the purpose of this expander? So this expander, as the name says, it again gives you 8 wired zones. But the main application area of this expander is that this expander basically covers up to 150 meters of distance. Okay, means if you have a very big area, let's say 1 lakh square feet area, farmhouse or a factory or a warehouse, right? So to cover the 1 lakh square feet area, we need to use the expander, a long distance expanders. So at these locations, we have to use the PSU 200XP. Why so? Because we have to put the control panel at one of the location. And then we have to cover all the doors and shutter contacts. I'm taking one example of, let's say, one warehouse. So in a warehouse, we have a lot of shutters, rolling shutters, and we have emergency entry exit doors, fire exit doors, which is called as, right? So in order to protect all these areas, we have to put one sensors on the shutter contact as well as on the fire entry exit doors, right? Now, in order to cover or in order to install the sensors on all these locations, we have to run a lot of wire. And there is also some limitation that we can extend up to this limit of the wire. Now, to cover these areas, what we have to do, we have to put these expanders. So one control panel at one location, then from the control panel up to 150 meters, I can extend one wire and put one expander. Now in the expander, I will get 8 wired zones. Now in the zones, I can connect all the nearby sensors over here. Then again, from this expander, I can take one more wire length up to 150 meters and install a second expander over there. So like this, I can put number of expanders in a daisy chain wiring. Okay, so these expanders are, again, you can say, a special kind of product, which is very specific application area, which is used for a specific application area. Okay, for the bigger application area.
I want to add a couple of points more on the expander side. We
Yes.
talked about 8xp, 8xp-W, 32xp-W. Like Ribu mentioned, if you want to add wired sensors to this panel, go for a wired expander. If you want to add wireless sensors, go for the wireless expander. And another thing is all Texecom panels are hybrid panels, which means you can add wired as well as wireless expanders to the very same panel. So if you want to use 8 wired sensors and 8 wireless sensors, pick one 8xp and one 8xp-W. Right? So it allows you to play with the kind of sensors that you've got. That's on the basic panel. IXP-W is when you want to use Texecom wireless sensors. Right? Texecom has got the ricochet wireless mesh technology, which has got certain advantages, which we have looked at in the previous sessions. If you want to use Texecom wireless ricochet sensors and make them work with third-party control panels, what IXP-W does is it converts those wireless inputs into wired inputs, because Texecom wireless technology is not understood by third-party control panels. Ricochet is Texecom's proprietary technology. What IXP-W allows you to do is convert that wireless sensors inputs as wired inputs for the third-party control panel. So IXP-W will give you the alarm outputs. It will give you the tamper outputs. It will give you low battery outputs that come from the, let's say, from our wireless sensors. Right, all of that IXP-W, which you connect to the third-party control panels. There you can map it accordingly as the control panel provides you features. And PSU200XP is a power supply, built-in power supply unit expander, right? It's got what happens when you draw. Why can't you use an 8XP in place of PSU? Because 8XP is a wired expander, but it can't as you draw the wire longer and longer, there will be a resistance that is built into the wire, and there will be voltage drop. So you can't connect an 8XP at a very far distance from the control panel. There is a limitation. But if you use PSU 200XP, it has an additional power supply. So when you give additional power supply, all your voltage drop decreases, and you can connect wired sensors even when the expander is very far away from the control panel. Right? That's the benefit of PSU 200XP. And it's also a grade 3 device. If you are aware of the EN grades, maybe we'll do a separate session around that. But if you are aware of EN standards, they are grade 2 and grade 3. While all the first 4 expanders are of grade 2, PSU 200XP is a grade 3 device. Yeah. All right, we can go on.
Okay, just a minute, Mary. Let me show them one example also with the use of PSU expander. It will take 1 minute of time. Just a minute. Okay, guys. So if everyone can see the screen, then you can see we have shown you. Means here in the diagram, you can see that there is one perimeter area. The rectangular part is the perimeter area, which we want to cover with the beam sensors. And the total area is approximately 1.8 to 2 kilometer of area, right? So to cover such a long distance, what we have to do is we have to place one panel. P here written is, this is representing as panel. From the panel, what we are doing is we are placing the expanders at every 200 meters, at every 200 meters. So this is the one chain, one network line going on in a daisy chain manner, and this is the second daisy chain manner wiring going on. So how we are covering it? Using the PSU expanders locating at every 200 meter of distance. So this distance varies either from 150 to 200 meter. You can place the expander at any of these locations. So this red color rectangular box is basically your expanders. Okay, and this RX TX, you can see these are basically your beam detectors. So we have one of the optics company has the beam detectors which are used for the perimeter area, and these beam detectors are of the range of 200 meters. So we are putting the beam detectors RX and TX on the expanders, you can see here. So that's how you can use these expanders. So this is one of the example just want to show you so that it will be clear in your mind that where exactly we use these PSU 200 XPs. Okay. Okay. So just a minute. Now come to the keypads. As I told you that for every control panel, we have to give at least one keypad. So this is basically a display unit, which is used for arming, disarming the control panel, reading out the messages that what alert we are getting from the control panel. This is basically also used for programming the control panel, setting date and time of the control panel, or we also have a prox reader. Prox reader is basically just like your access card. You touch the access card and it will, for example, for open and close the door. So we just touch the card, it will open the door, and we touch the card, it will close the door. In a similar way, we can show the prox reader tag over here. You can see it is written, not very clear. So just tap it or just show your prox reader card over here and it will start arming the panel and disarming the panel. We can use that one also. Then we have a LCD dash W's. Dash W means it is a wireless keypad. So we have a wireless keypad also which will work up to 10 meters from the expander. Please remember that. So this wireless keypad basically works up to 10 meters from the expander. Then we have a metal body keypad, a grade 3 metal body keypads also. So the look wise, if customer wants, he don't want a polycarbonate body keypad. So we have a metal body keypad of different colors. So there is a diamond shade color, golden shade colors. So different colors are there, which is little bit more expensive, right? And every keypad except the wireless one, every wired keypad is having 2 additional wired zones also. So in case if customer wants to use any additional zones, and if the total number of zones are over in your control panel, then you can use these wired zones which is inside the keypad, every keypad except the wireless one. All right, now come to the sensors part. So as you can see that there are various type of sensors in Texecom product portfolio. So number one is motion detectors. So as you can see the image of the motion detectors, most of you, if you have worked on Texecom products, so the PIR motion sensors which we used earlier is now will be replacing with the captured one. So we are coming up with the complete new product portfolio of the PIR motion sensors, with the name start with the capture, all the range, whether it's a anti-masking, whether it's a dual technology, pet immunity, or ceiling mount, all the type of PIR motion sensors we are coming up in the capture series. So PIR motion sensors, as you all are aware, that basically this is the passive infrared rays. So it is detecting a human being, right? So PIR motion comes in a different range. For high security areas, we have anti-masking dual technology PIRs. For the residential purpose or for the the regular use of PIR, we have pet immune or dual technology PIRs also available. And always remember that whether you are using a wired product or a wireless product, all the products are used for the indoor area. You cannot use any of the product in the outdoor area. Even if it is an open balcony in a residence area, if we want to use the PIR motion in an open balcony, right, where the direct rainwater does not come but it is still open, you cannot use the PIR motion, Texecom PIR motion over there. That is also called as a outdoor area. So always remember, use the product in indoor area only. Then come to the magnetic contact. So these magnetic contact are the in the miniature form are called the micro magnetic contact. Now these magnetic contact are used to protect the entry exit doors, right? And all these magnetic contact, this the image which you can see here is basically a wireless magnetic contact. Okay, and then we have a vibration detectors. So vibration detector basically used for protecting the fixed windows, or if we have a slider doors, so on the slider doors we have one of the side which is fixed, that need to be protected, and that can be protected with the vibration detectors. Then we have a panic button. So the panic buttons are used for the emergency purpose, or in case if you have a grandparents or a person who is medically not well, medically ill, you can provide a panic button to them as a pendant, so that in case of any emergency they can alert someone. Okay, now let us see a little bit more in detail about the PIR motion sensors. So PIR motion sensors comes in both the range, wired and the wireless one. And the so first of all, I'll cover with the wireless one. So the wireless one, the battery life, everyone feels that, what is the battery life, how long it will work, how often, it generates the false alarm. All these questions must be arising in your mind. So always remember that whenever the product is giving you, or any sensor is giving you a false alarm, more, and if you are using a standard product, not a cheap quality product, a standard certified product if you are using, then 99% of the case is that you have not used the right product for that particular area. That is why it is not behaving properly. So one of the product is PIR. So PIR motion sensor is one of the sensor which is very sensitive, and we have to be 100% correct while choosing the PIR motion for any type of application where you are installing this product. For example, if you have any residence area where you have lot of pets, then you have to use a pet immunity PIR motion. Okay, pet immunity means during the case of pet, means if the pet is roaming in the house, then it will not generate the false alarm. It will immune the PIRs, the pets basically, right? So that is called the pet immune PIR motion detectors. Similarly, for the high security areas, for example, in the bank locker areas where the high value assets, gold is stored, for these type of area, we have to use the anti-masking dual technology PIRs. Now, what is anti-masking dual technology PIR? So, what happens is in the PIR motion, in a normal PIR motion, there is one loophole. For example, if you cover or if you spray, if you cover the PIR motion with a black cloth, then that PIR will stop detecting. It will stop to detect anything. But if that PIR is an anti-masking PIR, then what happened? It will show you that the PIR is masked. If anyone has put the cover or if any object is in front of the PIR, then that PIR will start showing you that the PIR is masked, and you will start getting the alert also. So depending upon the requirement and the sensitivity of the site, we need to decide the PIR motion sensors. Okay, now as I told you that both the variants we have as a wired one and as well as the wireless one. So the wired one we have P15. P means again it's a pet immunity. 15 means it's a range. So it has a range of 15 meters. It can detect up to 15 meters, and it makes the angle of 90°. All the ceiling PIR, sorry, not the ceiling, all the wall mount PIR motions makes the angle of 85 to 90° angle. Okay, and this 15 means that it can cover up to 15 meters of range. Then number two, quad 20. So 20 represents the range, and quad is the detection. The technology of detection is different. It detects in a quad manner. So that is the only the change of technology of that particular PIR. Then D20, again D means dual technology, and 20 is again the range. It can detect up to 20 meters of range. So and the capture A20 means it's an anti-masking PIR. So all these PIRs will now be available, and we are replacing with the old modules. The old models we are using right now, which you have already worked on if you have ever used the Texecom PIR motions. So currently we have all these range available. Compact PW, which is the pet immune, QD, quad PIR, then LED-DT, dual technology, AMDT, anti-masking, dual technology, then 360. This is the ceiling mount. And in the wireless one, we have these range available. All these will be replaced with the capture one. Okay, slowly, steadily, the stock whichever is available in the ADI, if we still have a old stock, then after the end of this old stock, you will start getting the capture PIR only. Okay. So, Marish, anything you want to add on here?
Yeah. How about the capture range? So what you've seen, can you go back to the previous slide? For each of the products that we are discontinuing, there is an equivalent model. If you see, compare both the slides, for every single module, we have a replacement. The P15, which is the entry level one, and going up to A20, which is the higher value item. So the P15 is a simple PAR with 15 meters range. Q20 is a quad PAR. What we mean by quad is it's got two lenses inside, which means it improves the sensitivity and whole bunch of benefits. But it's still using the IAR, passive infrared, as a technology, just like B15. D20 is where we're using dual technology, which means what are the two technologies? One is the passive infrared and the other one is a microwave. It's little, since you're using two technologies, the false alarms kind of get reduced, and these are used in high value applications. A20 again is a dual technology PAR with an additional intelligence of anti-masking. So that's how the range is split. And an important thing about capture PAR is that all these PARs will have lifetime warranty. Right? The older PARs were having a warranty of 2 years, but the capture PAR will have a lifetime warranty. As long as Texecom continues to produce capture PARs, all these PARs will be available for free replacement. We have so much belief in the technology and the way we build these products that installers and end customers get lifetime warranty on the capture PARs. And like the previous PRs, we've got both the wall mount and ceiling mount variations and the wired and wireless variations. Yeah, Ribu, you can go on.
Okay, thanks. Great. So let's move on to the another type of sensors, which is called the magnetic contact. So guys, again, we have the wired and the wireless series. Both the variants are available. Now, first of all, let us see about the first magnetic contact, which says grade 3 magnetic contact. So now we have come up with the grade 3 magnetic contact. So these are the magnetic contact which are used for the high sensitive areas, and this is called a grade 3. So what does it means? It means that, for example, if we are using any magnetic contact, a general magnetic contact, the normal one, or you can say a grade 2 magnetic contact. So in the magnetic contact there is one loophole, that the magnet which we are using in the grade 2 grade 2 magnetic contact, this magnet you can replace it, and any third party magnet you can use with this contact. In that case, it will not generate any alarm, right? So what happens in the grade 3? So in the grade 3, the magnet part get also enrolled with this contact, and if anyone tries to change this magnet with the third party magnet, it will give you the tamper alarm. Okay, so it means, if I would say that this magnetic contact which is grade 2, if it is 99% secure, 1% is still we have a loophole, right? But in the grade 3 it is 100% secure. The 1% loophole is also covered in the grade 3. So that is the advantage if you go with the standard product and the certified products. That is one of the reason we give the grading to the sensors, that which grade you are using. It is not like that we are high in the market as per the cost wise. These are the reasons why we are high in the market, because we are giving you the certified standard EN products. Okay, then come to the wireless series. In the wireless one, as you can see the size of the magnetic contact, it's in a miniature form. Okay, it comes in a three colors: gray, white and brown, which is called a micro contact dash W, and used for the wooden doors. Number two, impact SC-W. So this impact SC-W, this abbreviation, S means shock, C means contact, dash W means wireless. Now this is called as a dual sensor. Dual means which has the shock as well as magnetic contact. And where you use these sensors? For the slider doors, where we need to protect the entry exit part also and the glass part. Or you can use it for the glass doors, right? So instead of using two different sensors, we use only single sensor, which will work as a shock as well as a magnetic contact. Now dash W, we have one more feature in this particular dual sensor. In the dual sensor on the bottom side, there are terminals. So these terminals are used in order to make any wired sensor
Looks like Ribu is having a problem. Let me just quickly share my screen. Okay, hope you can see my screen. I'll just quickly go to the slide that Ribu was presenting. So what Ribu was mentioning is that in Impact SC-W, it's a dual sensor. It's got an additional benefit of two zones within that, right? It's got two slots where you can connect any third party wired sensor and make it into a wireless sensor. So let's say you're using an optics beam detector, but you don't want to connect that to Texecom control panel through wires. So you can connect the ends of the beam sensor into this Impact SC-W where it's got two terminals, and this sensor is going to convert that input from the beam sensor into wireless communication. So that's the benefit of Impact SC-W. So we've got all this different range. In wired, we've got two different variations, and in wireless also we've got a couple of variations. Let's move to the other set of sensors, which are the vibration or shock sensors. Even here
Yeah,
we've got,
hi
yeah,
Manish.
yeah. Do you want to take over?
Yeah. Just a minute. Let me share the screen. You can stop sharing. Sorry, I just got disconnected.
No problem.
Okay. Shall I start?
Yeah, you can talk about the vibration sensors.
Okay. Okay, guys. Let us see about the vibration sensors. So again, we have two different type of variants, wired and the wireless one. Now in the shock sensors, we have a little bit, more detail about the different type of shock sensors. So one of the sensor is called Impact S. So this is the new type of sensors which has a accelerometer based technology, right? So accelerometer based technology basically, you can say it has a capability to detect the vibration which is coming from the omnidirections, means from all the directions whatever the vibrations are coming, that sensor is capable of detecting that. Okay, and you can see Impact E is basically the older one which we still have in our stock, which we are still manufacturing also. So this Impact E has the piezo based technology. Okay, so always just remember that there is a change in the technology, otherwise the look wise both the sensors are same. Then we have a Impact SC. Again, Impact SC, as you can see, it is also called a dual sensor which comes in a wired one. The previous slide in that we have saw SC-W, which was the wireless one. But in wired one, we have SC. SC again, S means shock and C means contact. So you can use for the dual purpose, for the glass doors or for the slider doors. Then we have a impact glass break. So this impact glass break detector is basically, it does not work on vibration or a shock technology. It works on the technology which is called as breaking of the sound, or sorry, breaking of the glass and its frequency. So whenever glass breaks, there is some particular frequency. Whenever both the things matches, then this impact glass break works. Okay, so always remember that we generally says GBD. So GBD means glass break detector. It does not means a vibration sensor. So you have to particular say that we want to use a vibration sensor or a glass break detector. Both are different, and the working wise also both are different. Now in the wireless range, we have micro shock dash W. So dash W represent wireless and impact SC dash W. So this SC dash W is again the previous one which we have discussed, has both the things, contact as well as shock. And this micro shock is only having a shock sensor. So if you have any fixed glass door, fixed glasses, then you can use the micro shock sensor. And always remember one very important thing: when you are mounting these devices, always mount or install these sensors on the frame. If you are putting the vibration sensor or the shock sensor on a fixed glass, then your first point is on the frame you have to put. Okay, that is the best detection point if you are putting it on a frame rather than on the glass. Then we have a panic buttons. So the two variants, you can see the wired one and the wireless one. So wired one, as you can see, double push panic button. When you press both the buttons, then it will trigger the alarm. Okay, why so? Because by chance, in order to reduce the false alarm, if anyone press one button only just to play with the panic button, it will not generate any alarm. Unless and until you press both the buttons, it will not generate the panic alarm. Once you press both the buttons, then and only it will generate. And we come with the wireless one also. The wireless one panic button, as you can see, a little black small button in front of this panic button. You have to double push this button in order to generate the panic alarm. And again, the battery life of the wireless products, whatever the wireless products you are using, it also depends upon the usage, but in general the battery life is round about 1.5 to 2 years. It's a normal battery life of all the Texecom wireless products. Miscellaneous or the special products which we have saw in the agenda. So these are the special products. Number one is rolling shutters. So we have both the grades, grade 2 and grade 3. As what we have saw in the magnetic contacts, that we have a grade 3 magnetic contact. So the same concept is here also. In grade 3 rolling shutter, this is the magnet part, the upper part. And the lower base part is this, the main contact. Okay. So if you are using a rolling shutter, a shutter contact, and you are using a grade 3 shutter contact, then this magnet part, you cannot replace it with any third party magnet. It has an extra high security feature. If anyone tries to remove this magnet and try to put any third party magnet over it, it will give you a tamper alarm. So we have both grade 2 and grade 3 shutters, shutter contact. And these are, as you know, that these are used for the factory areas or for the warehouses where we have a rolling shutters. Then we have a seismic sensor. So seismic sensor is basically, you can say it's a more advanced module of the vibration sensor. So in the vibration sensor, it has a capability to detect only the vibrations, but the seismic sensor has the capability to detect the vibration and heat. So if there is any heat is generating on that particular product where this seismic sensor is installed, it will give you the alert. Now, what are the application area where we use these seismic sensors? ATM machines is the most important and the a special kind of application where we use this seismic sensor. Second, if you have any vault area or the locker area, and for example in the bank area, so in the banks where we have a locker area, in order to protect the walls, we put these seismic sensor on the wall also. Okay, so the material where you can put these seismic sensors are like on the wood, you can put these seismic sensor on the concrete walls and on the metal body objects like ATM machines or on the locker area or on the vault area walls. You can protect with the seismic sensor. Then we have a smoke cum heat detector, which is called as OH-W. So Texecom has the multi-purpose detector, which can detect the smoke as well as heat. And this is a wireless one. Okay. Now
Uh,
come to the,
One thing
yes.
about the wired sensors, in terms of for the smoke and heat, if you want to connect a wired smoke or heat detector, you can go for any third party 2-wire or 4-wire smoke sensors that can be integrated with Texecom panel.
Yes. So all the yeah, thanks, Marish. So all the Texicom control panels are basically called as intrusion cum fire detection panels, right? So you can use the smoke as well as the heat detectors with the Texicom control panels. The type of sensors you can use, 2-wire or the 4-wire sensors, and the brands which are compatible is system sensors, Apollo, and the third we have tried is Bosch. Bosch sensors are also compatible. Okay. Okay, so the third part and the most important one is called the communicators. So the communicators include different range. Number one is called as smartcom. So smartcom, as you all are, all you have saw in the previous training, the smartcom is basically a cloud-based product which will help you or which provides you the application called Texicom Connect. So it means the customer can remotely connect with their intrusion detection system. They can remotely see what is happening at their intrusion detection system, which is located at the premises. They can arm, disarm, or they can also view the camera from the mobile application, which is called a Texicom Connect mobile app. And all these things can happen if a customer has a smartcom device installed at the site with the control panel. So this smartcom requires internet connectivity. Okay, whether through the Ethernet or from the Wi-Fi, either one. It requires internet connectivity. That's it. If you want to see more details also, we'll share you one link. We have one YouTube channel over there, and there are a lot of videos are already there. You can see how this mobile application works, how to do the installation and the programming of the smartcom. All the videos are there. We will share the link again, and when we share all the products and all the documents and the recording along with that. Okay. Then we have a COM IP module. So guys, remember one thing, SmartCom is also a COM IP module, but along with that COM IP module, it has a cloud services also. Okay, but this COM IP is only a COM IP module. It does not have any cloud services. This is the major difference between the SmartCom and the COM IP module. And second major difference is, if you want to use the mobile application, mobile app with the COM IP module, the mobile application is different, which we are using with the SmartCom, which is called Texicom Connect. That application we cannot use with the COM IP. So If you want to use the application, the name of the application is called Texecom keypad app, which we
Remove
use
that
with the
one. No, that
common.
one that will be taken down from the Play Store. So there's no
Are you
mobile
sure?
application with COM IP. Yes, it
Are
won't. COM IP will not work. Will not have any mobile app capabilities.
Okay, guys. So it is now discontinued as you know that application is quite old. It's more than 20 years one. So that's why we have discontinued the app which was used with this COM IP module. Okay, now come to the third module, which is called the landline module. So if customer is having a landline module or the landline phone at their premises, generally banks has these landline phones, and what they want is that in case of any intrusion happens, they want a phone call through the landline. So we can use their landline system with our uh, speech module along with the COM 2400. So this is the module which we use in our control panel, and you can see here there is a RJ45 jack. So this RJ45 jack basically connects the landline module, and whenever there is any alarm happen, it will generate a call along with the voice message. So we can store 4 different voice message in this module, and whenever we receive a call, we will get we can listen that voice also. Okay, so these are the different communication modules currently we have in the Texicom system. We although we also have Marish, shall we discuss about the GSM module also?
Yeah. So about the GSM, some of you would be aware we used to have a 2G COM GSM module, and now that the world is moving towards 4G, Texicom has partnered with another company, and in the with partnership we have developed a 4G GSM module. It is a partnership developed product, and the 4G GSM module functions as the previous module. So whenever there is an alarm, you'll get the full text of the alarm, and you can also send an SMS and remotely arm and disarm and do a lot of other control options through the SMS itself. The 4G module is very much available, and maybe you can reach out to Texicom sales team to get those 4G modules ordered. That's the 4G GSM.
Yes. And guys, one more thing, please remember that the GSM module, only one product, the GSM module, which we are not selling through ADI. Okay. For that, you need to contact to the Texicom salesperson, and they will guide you how to get that product. Okay. Okay. So now come to the sounders category. So the sounders, as you can see, all the name starts with Odyssey. So Odyssey 5-W. So W represent wireless. So this is the wireless sounder, and this wireless sounder basically again it's a ricochet product, and it requires 8 batteries which is inside this module, and you can just enroll it in the zone and it will work just like your any other wireless sensor. Then we have a ODC3 sounder. So this ODC3 sounder is again a polycarbonate sounder. The body is of polycarbonate and it's a wired sounder. And now related to the connection part, all the Texicom products has a dedicated where we need a 5 core cable. These cables are available on the sounder also and on the control panel also. So as it is, you need to connect the sounder on the terminals. Number 3 is ODC3 metal body sounder, which is also called as a grade 3 sounder. Now, where we generally use these sounders? As I have told you, one of the example that we need to cover the 1.8 kilometer of area, which is completely a perimeter boundary outside area. Now, in order to put the sounder in an outdoor area, we need to protect the sounder from the rainwater, right? And hell lot of things we have to do. So instead of doing hell lot of things, just go with this metal body sounder. So it's a weatherproof metal body sounder. It protects from the rainwater also. So you can connect in the outdoor area. Okay, so where you have the chances where the rainwater can can damage your sounder, just go with the metal body sounder. It will protect that part also. Okay, so all these range are there. Now come to the software and mobile applications. So first of all, you can see Texecom Connect. So Texecom Connect is again a cloud-based mobile application which is used along with the SmartCom. If you have a panel, Premier Elite Series control panel, along with that, you need a SmartCom in order to use the Texecom Connect mobile app. You must have attended our last to last training where we have covered the mobile application part along with the SmartCom. So this is the cloud-based mobile app where you can use, or the customer can get connected wherever he is in the world. Okay. Only thing is that the internet connectivity is required at both the ends. Means at the premises level where we have a SmartCom, the internet connectivity should be there, and on the mobile where he is using the mobile app, on that particular handset, the internet connectivity is there. That's it. Rest everything will be done or taken care through the cloud. Then we have a Texecom Pro. So Texecom Pro is basically for the installer purpose. So this app is used by the installer. This is not the end customer mobile application. Which one is the end customer mobile application? Texecom Connect. Texecom Pro is the installer mobile application. So this is used for viewing the videos, the installation videos, or for the manuals of any product. If anyone wants to do any refer, want to see the connections diagram, want to see how to do the wireless enrolling of any sensor, if you want to see any video, you can go with the Texecom Pro mobile app. It's a very handy tool where you no need to carry all the product as a hard copy. No need for that. It's a mobile application available and you can see everything from here. Then we have a Texecom Cloud. So this is the desktop application, Texecom Cloud Services, where if installer is having a lot of sites along with the SmartCom, remember that all the sites must have a SmartCom installed. Let's say if an installer is having 20 sites where he has the SmartCom installed. So with the help of Texecom Cloud, what he can do is, if he takes the services of Texecom Cloud, first of all, it's a window-based application software where he can add all the 20 sites in one account. After adding all the sites, he can do a remote maintenance, or he can do uploading and downloading programming of complete system remotely. He can do the maintenance work remotely. He can do the troubleshooting part remotely. All the things he can do remotely through the Texecom cloud services. Marish, do you want to add on here something?
Yeah, so I mean, we would be launching this quite shortly. It's not launched yet in India, but this is not a desktop application. It's a web application. So you can
Okay.
open browser either on your mobile or on your laptop, and then you don't. Some of you would be familiar about Wintex. You had to download the software, keep that on your laptop, but that's not the case with Texecom Cloud. It's a web application. You can access it anywhere. You can maintain all your customers' profiles within the cloud portal. You can do remote maintenance, remote programming. All of these are possible with Texecom Cloud. These three are the latest applications. These, in addition to this, we've got Wintex, which is a programming software for which needs to be installed on the desktop and available for Windows operating system. We've also got Montex and TextBase, which are our monitoring and which are our alarm monitoring software. Those are all laptop-based software applications. Okay.
Correct. Okay, guys, so let's move on. So the special products also includes these two type of devices. Number one is called Premier 8XE, and again you can see this is again called a zone expander, and this 8XE is basically only a small PCB module. As what we have saw in the previous slides about the expander, the name of the expander was 8XP. Okay, that comes in a polycarbonate body. Okay, inside the polycarbonate body there is a PCB which is called the zone expander. But this 8XE comes like this only, this PCB, and this is compatible with Premier Elite 24 control panel. Okay, so where we generally use this PCB is where number one is that this expander connects on the panel main control PCB. So I'm repeating again, this expander 8XC basically connects on the control panel PCB only. Okay, so you cannot take this expander up to 40-50 meters away and install it there. No, it's not that kind of expander. It is only giving you additional zones at the control panel location only. Okay, and this is called as a special product because it is cheaper in cost, but it does not have any other advantages rather except the cost wise. Okay, second product is called the Premier Elite TTL Com 20 Com TTL communication module. So this is basically um, we have one technology which is which works on the fiber optics. So in order to work on the fiber optic, we need this TTL communication module in between. Okay, this product, whenever you go with this product and this so just make sure that it will increase your budget little bit more, because this is a little bit more expensive. If anyone has any bigger areas like 5 to 10 kilometer of area, if he wants to cover, then we can cover it with the help of TTL com product. So if anyone has any type of such project, just let us know. We will tell you about the architecture on this thing. Okay. But we have this product also. That's why I just want to show you.
Yeah, a couple of things that I want to add on these special products. Both of these are expanders only. We've looked at 8XP, 38XP-W, 32XP-W, PSU, and all of that. So 8XE and primarily TTL-COM are different kinds of expanders. Whatever products that we've looked at, be it control panels, expanders, keypads, sensors, and communicators, one thing to keep in mind, in Texecom, there is nothing like not compatible. Every sensor is compatible with every panel. Every expander is compatible with every expander, with every panel, with every sensor. So there's no issue of compatibility here. You can pick any control panel, you can pick any communicator, you can pick any expander, pick any keypad, pick any sensor. They'll all work with each other. No need to worry about compatibility with all the products that we have mentioned so far. The only issue with compatibility will come if you're using Premier 8XE. This is the only expander which you see on your screen, which is compatible only with Elite 24 panel. But rest of the things that we saw so far in the presentation are all compatible with each other. And a couple of things about TTL-COM. So the way we connect a normal expander to the control panel is through 4-core or 5-core wires. Right? You have got plus, minus, T and R. What happens? What is the benefit that you get with TTL-COM is that you can connect these expanders to the control panel using the fiber optic cable. What advantage do you get if you choose a fiber optic cable over wire? If you're using wire, the distance through which you can transmit the message is reduced because wires have issues of resistance and there's voltage drops and other issues that come in, which is why you can't connect an expander which is very far away from the control panel. Right? Primarily TTL-COM eliminates that possibility, eliminates that trouble by using optical fibers as a communication medium between the control panel and the expander. With optical cables, you can go for kilometers together. right? If you've got really a mega project like a defense establishment, border areas, huge industries where you don't want to put PSU expanders and want to use optical fibers as the communication path between the expander and control panel, you can use Premier Elite TTL-Com. It's a very special product. May not be useful in your day-to-day applications and installations, but if there are applications where you think this is needed, you can get in touch with us and we can give you more details about this Premier Elite TTL-Com.
Okay. Okay, so again, under the special product, we have a occupancy sensor. So this occupancy sensor, as the name suggests, if anyone, let's say, these are basically used in the washroom areas. So as you have saw in the hotel industries, if anyone goes inside the washroom, the lights turns on, and whenever we leave that area, after a few seconds, the lights gets off automatically. That's called the occupancy sensor. That is also available in Texecom, and we have a kit that is called, so kit basically includes a lot of products. So the basic products are shown here. One is the control panel, which is the Elite 64-W. Then we have a SmartCom for the Texecom Connect mobile app, cloud-based mobile app. And then we have a two micromagnetic contacts, wireless micromagnetic contacts. Then we have a capture PIR P-15 wireless one, and then we have one wireless panic button. So these, all these product includes under that kit called kit 1097, and the cost wise is also very aggressive. Like if you purchase all these things individually, it will be, the cost will be more, and if you go with the kit, I think you will get the discount price of around about 5,000, if I'm not wrong, Marish.
Yeah, I mean that the sales team will be able to talk
Yeah,
about.
so somewhere around 5,000 of cost the kit. That is what we have. Okay. Now let's move on. Okay, so let's now let us see about the product brochure. So we have a separate brochure we have created for you guys. So this brochure helps you to have all the product portfolio, whatever we have in the Texicom, along with the part code and a little bit description also. So this is a very useful, you can say a useful product portfolio in case whenever you visit to the customer site. So if customer says, do you have anything to show, that then you can show this product brochure where you have all the details under one guide. So first page covers the control panel. So as I told you that in the Premier Elite series, we have 5 type of control panels, starting from Elite 24, along with the part code, because most of you guys are not aware about what is the part code which we have to give in the BOQ. You generally chase to the ADI people or sometime to the Texicom people. So you have everything written over here only. Elite 88, then 168 and 640. And a little description is also mentioned, that how many zones are there, wired and wireless, expandable up to which zones, what is the maximum limit, how many areas each panel has, keypad support, user code and everything. Okay, so these little descriptions are also mentioned in the guide.
Yeah,
Then we have
the grades of the devices are mentioned, and don't worry, this brochure will be mailed to you. All of you who have registered along with the presentation, we will share a copy of this product brochure. And this follows the very same structure that we followed when we did the presentation just now.
right,
Right?
right.
All the way in which the control panels, expanders, keypads,
Expanders,
the very
everything,
same flow
right,
that we followed are listed here, along with the part codes.
right. So most of you guys are concerned about just give us the part code and the price. So although we are not authorized to share our complete Excel sheets of pricing, so but we can give you, whenever you have the requirement of any particular project or site, will give you the complete BOQ along with the pricing. So the BOQ designing, if you have attended our previous sessions, whatever we have done during the wired and the wireless solution, so after that you must be aware about how to design the BOQ. So if you are capable enough to design the BOQ, then from this brochure you can select whatever the product is required for that particular site, and after that we will provide you the pricing. So each and every detail is mentioned over here related to the whether it's a wired one or the wireless one. Yeah. So I think just I'm going quickly on page wise. It all the communicator modules are also mentioned over here. The GSM part is not mentioned over here, although we have a GSM module is ready, which is a 4G module. And remember one thing, the GSM module, which is a 4G one, which we have already launched, also works on the GeoSIM. Then we have a sounder, wired and the wireless one, then mobile application. And in the bottom side, there are the salesperson's details also mentioned. So for the four salespeople are there. Santosh Nanda is basically look after all the projects pan India, major projects related to the banking sector. Marish, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, Santosh takes care of banking sector.
Banking sector. Yeah. Then Vinay takes care for the channel and the distribution sales, right? And then Shefali Chaskar looks after the complete warehouse and the retail segment. Again, she's part of the projects team. Then Amol Magdum is basically earlier he was in the technical part. Now he's taking care for the regional sales for the West region. Then we have a technical support number. This is the email ID and this is the phone number also written. This technical support number works from Monday to Saturday morning 9:30 to 6 p.m. Morning 9:30 to 6 p.m. Monday to Saturday, all are working. Yeah, that's it from the presentation part. Now come to the summary. So whatever we have done so far, number one is we have saw the intrusion detection system architecture. Then one by one we have just saw what all type of sensors are there, what all type of control panels are there, expanders are there, and then the communication part, like what type of keypads we have, what type of communication modules we have, and we have just saw the product brochure. In the product brochure you will get to know about the part codes along with the little explanations of each and every product. So hopefully you're able to understand today's training and the product portfolio, whatever we have in Texecom. So guys, if you have any questions, just let us know.